Hi, today we are about to discuss about some advanced membrane process technologies or membrane separation technologies involved in separation processes or downstream processing. So first one is reverse osmosis. So hope you all know what is osmosis, and reverse osmosis is we are intentionally reversing the flow of solvent. In osmosis, solvent flow from a higher concentration to lower concentration through a semi-permeable membrane. In reverse osmosis, we are applying a pressure which is greater than the osmotic pressure to reverse the direction of flow of solvent from concentrated solution side to pure solvent side. So in the figure you can see what's happening. We have a membrane, and to the left side of the membrane we are supplying the feed which is in liquid state. So liquid feed is supplied and it is maintained at a pressure P1, and on the right hand side we have the pure solvent or the permeate layer. So water or the solvent from the liquid feed side move towards the permeate side through the membrane, and we are maintaining the pressure which is greater than the osmotic pressure. For this liquid side feed side pressure is maintained in a higher level, and the phenomena is termed as reverse osmosis. It has its major application in desalination of water. So as you know, we are supplying a large pressure drop. In order to withstand that pressure, the membrane we are using must be thick, and so that we are using asymmetric or composite membranes which have dense layer or dense skin on, or we can use some porous supports for the membrane in order to withstand the pressure. And the product of reverse osmosis is the permeate, which is of pure solvent, because all the solvents or majority of the solvent from the feed side move towards the pure solvent side. So the permeate is pure solvent, and the retentate, what is remaining is the liquid feed which is concentrated or water removed feed. So this is a major technique used for concentrating the solutions. So as with all membrane processes where the feed is liquid, we have three resistance acting upon the system, that is resistance offered by the membrane and the resistance offered by the boundary layers near to the feed side and near to the permeate side. So there are three resistance. Overall resistance will be the sum of these three: boundary layer of the feed side, membrane resistance, and resistance due to the boundary layer in the permeate side. And here in reverse osmosis, the permeate side is pure solvent. So the pure solvent, the resistance offered is minimum, or it is approximated to 0. So we can neglect that resistance in reverse osmosis. And the solvent flux is given by this equation. Here we have the delta P, the applied hydraulic pressure difference, that is liquid feed side pressure minus the permeate side pressure, and the delta pi is the osmotic pressure difference, that is the osmotic pressure of the feed side minus osmotic pressure of the permeate side. The major applications of the desalination, as I said, the major one is the desalination of water, and it can be used in industrial wastewater treatment and in many industries like in dyeing industries, in food processing industries, in paper industry, etc. We are using reverse osmosis as a wastewater treatment method. And another application is concentration of amino acids and alkaloids. Also some fruit juices, coffee, soups, etc. The next advanced membrane separation technique is pervaporation. Pervaporation, as the term indicates, it is perm selection and evaporation, or we can say selective permeation plus evaporation. Actually, it is developed in many centuries back, but recently that the application of the system of the processes came into of commercial importance. So as you can see in this figure, we have a thin film composite membrane, a liquid feed which is supplied to the membrane system, which is having two species, that is species A and species B. So we are assuming our feed is having two molecules A and B, in which A is having a fast rate of permeation through the membrane, but B is having a slow permeation rate, or it is permeating in a less rate. And there are two zones in the membrane. So the liquid phase zone, which is in contact with the liquid feed, and when the molecules permeate through the membrane, it will become vapor. It will start to the vapor phase in the vapor phase zone of the membrane due to evaporation. And our product is the permeate vapor. That means our permeate molecule, outcome will be what? The species A in the vapor form. Okay. So generally, sweep is not used in other side of the membrane, but pressure will be made vacuum at the permeate side, or it is held below the dew point of the permeate, making it in the vapor form. That is, we have to obtain the permeate in the vapor form, so that we are creating vacuum in the permeate side. So vaporization may occur near the downstream phase, such that the membrane penetrate with the two zones, a liquid phase zone and the vapor phase zone. So vapor permeate is enriched in the species A. Overall permeabilities of the species A and B will depend upon the solubility and diffusion rates, and the solubility of molecules in the membrane will cause the membrane to swell. So pervaporation is favored when the feed solution is dilute. That is, if feed is rich in the main permeate, the number of membrane stages may be needed.